Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm doing another first impressions and wear test of a new foundation that I just got. This is the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid Foundation. I've actually never tried anything from Milk Makeup, so I'm pretty excited. It comes in this cute, upside down, this super cute like display packaging. I thought that was a really cute different thing. Anyway, Blur Liquid Matte Foundation. This claims to be a full coverage, water-thin foundation, provides a wetless, long wear matte finish. Not wetless, weightless, long wear matte finish. Silicone-free formula won't clog pores so skin can breathe. Blurring microspheres minimize the appearance of pores, fine lines, and imperfections for smooth, flawless looking skin. Formula is housed in a mess-free, no-drip, airtight package. Shake well before use. Apply 1 to 2 drops to the center of the face and blend outward layer as needed. It is silicone-free, dimethicone-free, oil-free, cruelty-free, vegan, and made in the USA. 1 fluid ounce of product. I will link the information below if you're interested in purchasing this. Purchasing this, I will link the information below. I have oily combination skin, so especially in my T-zone gets very oily throughout the day. This is a matte foundation, it's what I'm wearing right now. On my eyes, I use the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette if you're interested, and I think that's it. Let's get started. All right, fresh face, no makeup. I am currently trying out the Ordinary face skincare. I am on only the first week, but I am going to, at the end of 30 days, do like a before and after. So I do have that product on my face that I'm using from the Ordinary. It's just like a serum that you put on. I'm not going to be using any primers or anything like that. And as I hopefully mentioned in the intro, this is shade Golden Light. As you can see, I have a lot of hyperpigmentation. My birthmark, obviously, but I have some scarring right here from breakouts, and as you can see, like this whole side of my face is pretty much just discoloration and hyperpigmentation. I have a pretty significant pregnancy mask, that line that I got when I was pregnant with my children, so we have some stuff to cover up. As usual, I will be doing one half of my face with a beauty blender and the other half with a brush. Today I'm using the Sigma Round Kabuki F82 brush. I don't know how much to use, so I'm just going to kind of squeeze some onto that. It is a little runny, not bad at all though, so it's got a thicker consistency. When I ordered this online, I was tanned, so we'll see. I'm just going to load that up on my brush. It smells nice. It smells like a citrusy kind of lotion. It doesn't have any chemical-y type smell or anything like that. And like I mentioned, I haven't used a primer or anything like that. I do have combo oily skin, so foundations usually tend to kind of just slip around on my face. It's blending out really nicely. It's got a good adheres to my skin really well. That's got really good coverage. And I'll zoom in when I get the other side on. So that is just that one little squeeze, and I just loaded it up in my brush, so I'm still using that same amount to just apply it to the forehead. I'm really liking how that looks on my pores. I have huge pores, I hate them so much. Hate them. I know hate's a strong word, but it's an appropriate word because I hate them. We're not friends. I'm gonna get a little bit more. I'm gonna get the same amount that I squeezed on there for this side, but with a sponge I might have to use more, especially because I just cleaned this sponge. So it might soak up a lot of product. Let's see. That is blending out so nice, and I love how it is adhering to my skin. it's not slip sliding all over the place. It's doing a really good job at covering up that pigmentation too. That's a really, really nice color. I was a little scared because it said golden light how yellow it would be, but it's actually a really nice, not too yellow at all. We'll see if it oxidizes. But it matches my chest really well. Turn down my light so hopefully it won't reflect so much. So I'm just gonna do one layer. I'm really happy with that coverage level, like really happy with that coverage level. And I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. We are super close now. I really like how it's looking around my pores. I really like how it's sitting on my whole skin in general. I'm very, very happy with how that applied and how it stuck to my skin. It wasn't streaky or anything like that. It has dried down really nicely. It's a little damp, but not tacky at all still. I am really liking how it's sitting around my pores. And I still have, with the beauty sponge, I still have a lot of product left, which is weird. Usually a sponge you would use more product, but it didn't soak up in the consistency of the product didn't soak up in my sponge at all, and it blended out really nicely. I hate my pores, and the fact that I don't hate them right now is making me so happy. You guys don't even know. I'm gonna put on a little bit of my Instant Age Rewind concealer, and we'll just see how that blends out over the top of it. It covered everything so well. I'm actually only going to apply just a tiny bit directly under my eyes. There is a little bit more coverage needed in this area. And I'm just gonna take my beauty sponge, beauty blender, and tap that out really lightly. Blend it into that really nicely. You can't even see there's like no weird line or anything like that. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my makeup. I don't think I'm gonna set this. I'll let you guys know when I'm back, but I caved and got the Urban Decay Naked Heat. Okay, that was a disaster. Really love the colors in this eyeshadow palette, but had a lot of fallout. So I had to, when I tried to remove it, it got really messed up. So I actually redid my under eyes. I removed the concealer that I had put on and put some fresh stuff on. I did end up setting this because once it set down, it like sunk into all of my fine lines. So I did set it around my nose and on my forehead, hopefully to prevent creasing. When I set it, I lost that pretty dewy look that I had, but I am combo oily, so in a couple hours, I'll probably have that dew right back. So I'm not too worried about that. And this is a matte finish foundation, so we'll see. But the bronzer and blush and everything blended out fine on top of it. I didn't have any issues with that, other than just this eyeshadow palette had a lot of fallout for me, and that created a mess. So I will note that and do my eyeshadow first next time. But foundation wise, everything went on fine on top of it. It was an ordeal trying to put this face on today. I will be back in a few hours to check in, and we will see how this is holding up throughout the day. Okay guys, it is 4:30 doing my first check-in, so I've had the foundation on for 4.5 hours. It's holding up really good. I'm gonna come a little bit closer so you guys can see. I just wanted to show you further away. It is a little bit shiny, but not bad at all, especially for how oily I get. To me, it just kind of has that fresh dew look right now versus just oily. Let's get close. It is definitely pulling in the folds around my nose. It's not creasing really. I mean, my forehead wrinkle a little bit, it creased into it, but it's holding up really well so far. Around my nose is definitely starting to get a little cakey. But yeah, so this is how it looks at the 4.5 hour mark. I will check back in at the end of the night and we'll see if it's broken apart or anything by then. All right, not quite 8 hours. It is the night before kids go back to school, so we are calling it an early night tonight. It is 7:34, so it's been almost 8 hours, 7.5 hours that I've been wearing the foundation. I'm very shiny. Very shiny. So you guys can see, it is totally like collecting here in my nose, and it is breaking apart here and here. Again, I have combo oily skin. This is totally normal for me. The fact that it lasted almost 8 hours and didn't really crease or anything. Now I will say the finish without setting it with a powder was beautiful. I loved it. But it started to settle into my fine lines and wrinkles right away, so I went ahead and set it. I think I will try it again without setting it and see if it just barely creases. I think I'd be okay with that because I really did like the finish without setting it. I'm gonna go ahead and touch it up real quick and we'll see how it looks after we, like normal would touch it up. I have a sample here of RCMA translucent powder. I'm gonna give this a try. I got a sample of this one in the no color powder and I really like the no color powder. I'm gonna give this one a try. It's a little bit difficult to get into. So I got about that much in my brush, but I'm gonna tap it out into the lid so it's a little bit more evenly distributed. Voila. Those of us that have oily or combination skin, it's something that we just know we're gonna have to touch up our face. Now, I would recommend that you use some kind of blotting powder or something before you touch up with a powder. Not blotting powder, like a oil absorbing sheet to kind of get off some of that excess oil if you want more of a natural look. If you're touching up several times throughout the day and just using powder and not getting rid of that oil, you will get kind of pretty cakey. Us oily skinned people, you want to pat that into the foundation and not buff it. If you swipe, you're gonna probably most likely lift off your foundation. If you have oily skin like me, it's just gonna wipe right off. So you really want to set that by pressing it into the skin. So yeah, after touching it up, there we go. No more shine. So it touched it up really nice. It held up really good throughout the day. It did pull around my nose. I feel like some of that can be avoided if you're touching up throughout the day. For the purposes of these videos, so that you guys can see what the foundation does without added variables into it, because they're claiming, my dog just laid down. The claims of the foundation is that it's oil controlling. So I don't want to do things throughout the day that I normally would do to help control the foundation, so that you guys can see if the claims actually hold up. And so that you can see what you would do with this foundation, just basically how it wears throughout the day and like what kind of little tweaks and stuff you would do that you prefer on your skin. Does that make sense? I hope so. Anyway, I'm rambling. I gotta get my little guy ready for bed, read some stories, and back to school tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It greatly helps me, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Talk to you later. Can we just talk about this eyeshadow palette for a second?